What is up, boys? Happy Thursday. Happy
Oh,
Thursday. One
I'll
day
t-
away from game one.
let's just
Championship Series Eve.
let's just gonna say let's call it Championship Series Eve.
How are we feeling?
Very good.
I know how you're feeling, TC, but fun inside joke.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I yes, but also feeling like I want the Chiefs to go up there and humble some people. That's what I'm feeling like.
The amount of cocky Medicine Hat fans makes the amount of cocky like Portland fans from years past look like nothing.
You're not wrong. It's not even cockiness. It's flat out arrogance and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and and ignorance.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean we just saw it in the OHL Championship Series upset
Yeah.
game one. London lost their first game of the
Yeah.
playoffs over there. So
And they were
uh,
12-0 up at that point. So
yeah, I mean I honestly don't count the Chiefs out, and all those Medicine Hat fans seem to have already awarded Medicine Hat with the championship. It's like I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think it's going to be as easy as you guys think.
No, I don't
there's
think so either.
there's definitely a non-zero number of people in that town and surrounding area that have already booked plane tickets for Mooski, Quebec. I
100%.
guarantee it. I
No, yeah.
guarantee it. There's
Oh,
a non-zero
absolutely.
number. So
Yeah, no doubt. But overall, I mean, I think looking at side by side stats and everything too, and on paper specifically, I mean it's pretty right down the middle. I mean, it's pretty even. And like you said last week, Dad, it's like you could go either way. It's a 50-50,
Yeah.
I think. And even with the news that potentially they might be getting Caden Lindstrom back. They are confirmed getting Andrew Basha back. I
I
saw
saw
that
that.
earlier today. But if they get Caden Lindstrom back, I mean, still, even then, I still think it's like, you have two guys that haven't played in, how long. Lindstrom hasn't played all year with Medicine Hat. He didn't play a single game. And Basha only played, I think, 20 some games this year before he got injured too. So you're going to throw two guys back into the lineup in the championship series who haven't played, in months
Hmm.
and are going to be thrown right into game night. They're going to be rusty. I mean, it's
Well, and also possibly the idea that that just throws off the chemistry for Medicine Hat too.
yeah,
I mean, look what
exactly.
happens when we've had guys come back from injury and trying to find a place for them in lineup and have to switch things around when things have been working too. It takes a while to get that back too.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that even if they get those players back, I mean, it's going to take them a little bit to kind of adjust to the speed and
Mm-hmm.
kind of how all the systems are. And I think it's going to be, I don't want to say like a kind of a shell shock, but like
It's just disruptive.
yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping that that kind of is a positive for the Chiefs
Yeah,
because
yeah, me too.
throw Medicine Hat off their game plan because they haven't lost since game 3 or 2 of round one. So it's
Yeah,
like I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm anxiously awaiting. Like I've been sitting here all week. It's like we haven't watched any games in close to 10 days now, and
yeah.
it's like oh my god. Um, but I mean, there's been lots of other exciting stuff going on around the league the last few days as well with the expansion draft for Penticton.
Mm-hmm.
um, U.S. priority draft was this morning or yesterday, or was that?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, it
yeah, it
was
was
yesterday.
yesterday.
And round one of the Bantam draft was also yesterday, and then round two was today.
Yeah,
So, um, I mean, a lot of stuff going on, even while the championship series hasn't even gotten underway yet. But the Chiefs, have their U.S. priority picks. They have had a few Bantam draft picks. Obviously, not a lot with the amount of picks that we'd given up to get guys like Ulmer and
mm-hmm.
Crystal and whatnot. But uh, still, drafting some pretty, I would say, highly touted players. The U.S. priority draft, 17th overall pick, they get the forward Parker Colmore. He's from Shattuck St. Mary's, which is where Burke played before he came over to the Chiefs as well for that one year. And
Mm-hmm.
boy, looking his stats up earlier. It kind of gave me a little bit of a reminder to when we selected Ozzy last year. Looking at his offensive numbers for his 14U AAA team this year, 59 games played, 57 goals, 65 assists for 122 points.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Two point per game player. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Kansas. Another interesting
Yeah.
little tidbit there.
Saw that.
Five
Think there's
nine
ever
one
been
thirty
a
four.
think there's ever been a Kansan in the WHL before? Would he
I'm
be?
sure there has like a
Think so?
stray one. I'm sure, but not. I wouldn't say anybody that's notable per se.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, those are some pretty unreal numbers, and I think with obviously the U.S. NCAA changes and stuff too, you're going to see a lot more of those U.S. guys signing into the CHL, even if it's just for a year or two. Uh, and also that was noticed. I noticed that today with the Bantam draft. A lot of American kids that didn't get picked in the U.S. draft were selected in the Bantam draft in
Yeah.
like fifth, sixth, seventh rounds. The Chiefs themselves selected four players from Minnesota
Oh
today,
wow.
and so I like that they're doing that, and I think that this year we didn't have, those high first, a lot of first, second round, third round draft picks. Like we had one second round pick, and I think that was the only pick that we had of the top like 70 some prospects or whatever. We picked second and fourth were like our highest picks. But I think with the NCAA change and getting these US kids to sign, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I think
Agreed.
it's honestly going to benefit the team in the long run, being
Yeah.
able to pull in some of those players in the place of selecting in the first round or, and I mean, we're in the championship series right now. So obviously trading away those picks for the players that we have now is paying off. So I'm happy with it. Were you guys looking at any of the draft stuff today at all?
Not not in depth by any means, but I glanced and saw things here and there when they came through. I didn't know any stats or anything until you shared them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle a little bit with this draft because like these kids are like 12 and 13 years old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I every year that it happens, I follow it a little bit and I just take a look at the names and maybe check their hockey DB or elite prospects, whatever we call it. And
Right.
that's about as far as I go. I don't read too far into it. It's development is not linear in hockey, so there's a very high likelihood, and even in the past, before the NCAA training or changes rather, that a lot of these kids would never even come here in the first place. But now
Right.
that that has changed, I guess maybe there's more of a reason to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
The question is how pissed does the USHL have? Because
Yeah.
the CHL is just plucking these American kids out of
Yep.
places that they would normally go for. Um,
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see how that's working out for them. Obviously, if you're good enough to play on the NDTP, you're probably going to go that route regardless.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
for the kids that aren't selected by the NDTP, if you're thinking to yourself, the CHL is the best path of my development for at least 2 years before I decide to go to college, or hell, maybe they just decide, screw school, I like this too much, I'm just gonna keep playing. Uh, I'd wonder like what the difference is development wise between the CHL and the USHL. I feel
Yeah, I've never
like
watched a USHL game necessarily. I mean, I've seen highlights here and there, but it's like I'm with you. I don't really know if there's like a huge skill difference or speed
it's
difference or
the gap has certainly closed over the last few years, but with the NCAA ruling, it's probably going to get opened back up by the CHL again.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And yeah, I mean, it definitely is going to hurt those BCHL teams, but I think personally those BCHL teams kind of shot themselves in the foot with all the
Yeah.
stuff with Hockey Canada in the past couple of years and everything too. Uh, but yeah, no, I agree, and I think that if we get some of these guys to sign, then I think we're going to be, just fine. Our second pick in the U.S. draft was a goalie
I saw that.
from it just says USA. It doesn't say where exactly on his page, but let me city up really quick.
Doesn't want
Minnesota. It is a
does-
Minnesota kid.
doesn't want Trump to know where he's from.
Yeah. Brody Johnson, goaltender. Yeah, 14 years old, born in 2010. Does that make you guys feel old?
Yes, I
It
am
makes
old.
me feel old.
It's my freshman year of high school, bro. It's crazy.
But this year he posted a 916 save percentage for his 15U AA team. So uh, always good to have some more goalies in the pipeline, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm anxious to just see how this all plays out with U.S. players down the road for not just us, but for the whole league too. It's going to be interesting to see, like in 2 years,
Yeah.
what this has really done.
Like what percentage of rosters are Americans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because typically it's been like anywhere from maybe 2 to 3 players
I
per
was to say
team.
Wayne 1 to 3. Yeah,
Yeah, if
exactly.
that, some teams just don't have any Americans. I think there was a couple years recently the Chiefs didn't have any.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see the makeup of the team here in another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Gillespie's the first American kid that we've had on our team in a couple of years since
Well, quite a while.
like
Yeah.
2020 maybe.
Would it have been
Um,
since Bear?
I think so,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Or Toporowski, I guess, was him and Bear. I guess they ended the same year. So
Yeah, they
yeah, I
overlap.
guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but let's see here. But the this Parker Colmer kid, the I'm looking up some more stuff on him on Elite Prospects. Apparently, he was the second ranked um prospect for the U.S. priority draft in the WHL this year, and the Chiefs got him at 17th. So
Interesting.
that's a pretty interesting poll there. Maybe the Chiefs. I mean, our recruiting system seems to be starting off really well with these American kids.
Yeah.
You know, we had those visits with some of those prospects, late in the regular season, and um, so maybe they had talked to him prior and everything too. And scouting report says Parker's a highly talented offensive player with an elite scoring touch and a high-end vision and passing ability, a powerful skater who projects to play a top-line role at the WHL level. So that's pretty exciting, I think. Getting a player, another player of that caliber, and then
Hmm.
for the goalie, scouting report says Reich or Brody is the most athletic and explosive goaltender we had the privilege of seeing this season. His reflexes and compete level are elite. He plays with a high level of confidence and presence to him. So,
Nice.
um, sounds good on paper for sure.
How about just all the moves in the league, trades and everything too, with the draft stuff going on?
Yeah, so I was kind of curious about that. We haven't seen an expansion draft since Edmonton in 07
Yeah,
08.
it's been a long time.
Uh, I was a little bit surprised to see how many teams Penticton chose to make trades with as opposed to just selecting one of their
Yeah,
players.
that was odd.
I mean, there's probably 7 or 8, maybe
It's a
even
lot of
more than
them.
that, teams that decided to do that. And obviously, Medicine Hat and Spokane haven't made
Right.
that decision yet because they're still playing. But I wouldn't hate to see the Chiefs just say, "Hey, here's a fourth round, third round pick," and
Exactly.
I honestly I didn't even know that that was an option.
I didn't either.
Um,
It caught me off guard yesterday when I was seeing it all.
but I mean, I guess it's a good way for Penticton to stock up on draft picks if they need
Hmm.
to as
Hmm.
well. And so yeah, that's another little interesting thing that I noticed. And then with the WHL prospects draft today, the Bantam draft, the Chiefs had the 28th overall pick. They selected a defenseman like I was hoping that we would. Riker Doka from Regina, 5'6", 134 pounds, 14 goals and 20 assists in 21 regular season games as a defenseman this year, hit for his CSSHL team. So that's really, really good. Having another offensive minded defenseman too, that can put the puck in the back of the net, and
Hmm.
obviously if he's being drafted early second round, he's probably a pretty promising defensive player as well. But Steiner Report says Riker's a dynamically talented offensive defenseman with a high level of skill and creativity. He's a proven winner who elevates his game in big moments. Um, Fourth round, 75th overall, the Chiefs picked Brody Sunderland from St. Albert, Alberta, which is where Ozzie McIntyre is from too. So I'm sure they know each other. So that'll be another nice little connection for them.
Hmm.
He's a big boy, 6'6", 1.5, 145 pounds at
Wow.
14. So
Oh my God.
yeah, 18 goals, 19 assists for 37 points in 34 regular season games. Scouting report, Brody's a smooth skating center who plays a heavy 200-foot game. He's a player we watched improve all season, and he could create in the tough areas of the ice. So I like seeing that he's 6'1" at 14, which makes me think he could grow to 6'3", 6'4", maybe even
Yeah.
more by the time
A,
that he's
s-
ready.
a 6'1" center at
Yeah,
14.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's
Potential there.
crazy. No doubt.
That's some power forward
A
potential.
hundred
I
percent.
love that.
Yeah, me too. Fifth round, 110th overall, the Chiefs picked defenseman Sean Murphy from North Vancouver, BC. 3 goals and 24 assists for 27 points in 35 games. Sean is a high-end skater with tremendous energy and pace to his game. He sees and thinks the game at a high level, makes plays offensively, and is highly competitive defensively. We're very excited for his game to continue growing as a part of the Chiefs organization. Um, Next pick was Joshua Frazier from Lloydminster, Alberta. 17 goals and 21 assists for 38 points. Fast-paced, high-energy forward who was a very valuable player for his team this season. Plays a competitive and detailed 200-foot game and can create offensively with time and space. Seventh round, 145th overall, Braden Ewell from Maple Grove, Minnesota. So, we're getting into the deeper rounds of the Bantam draft. We're seeing some more of these American kids getting selected, which I love seeing. Goal scorer, 13 goals and 5 assists in 18 games this season. Point per game guy. Braden's a powerful skater who combines a hard-nosed game with finesse and playmaking ability. He's a versatile player who can play a variety of roles. Um, Cyrus Gursky, about 9 picks later from Kamloops, BC, right winger. 40 goals and 26 assists in 27 games. That's pretty damn good.
Wow.
Nice.
Thompson Blazers, U15, AAA. Dynamic goal scorer who brings a high level of skill in both hands and feet, shows good acceleration and speed, and has a knack for being able to pick small openings to expose with his shot. That description kind of sounds like Mathis Preston
I
a
was
little
just thinking
bit.
the same thing.
Brody Rupert, I'm gonna butcher the hell out of this name. Ruprecht,
Ruprecht, yes.
and another Minnesotan kid, Prior Lake, Minnesota, 5'9", 160 pounds, 18 goals and 20 assists for 38 points. And then our last pick in the 8th round was Nikolai Zukov, another Minnesota player, a goal and 3 assists in 17 games, a 5'11", 165-pound defenseman. At that age, that's a pretty big
It's a big
kid too.
boy. Yeah.
Um, says Nico is a mobile defensive defenseman who brings a calming presence to his team's back end. He's able to control gaps and shut down his opponents, and it really excites us.
Nice.
So I still think with, obviously a lot less draft picks than we've had in recent years, but it's paid off with where we're at right now and the position that we're in. And then I still think we came away with a pretty good haul with these guys too, just based off of everything that I'm hearing. I'll be curious to see how, the kids that show up to camp next year look.
No, it's all about keeping this thing rolling, keeping this team competitive.
And I think Bardsley has done so good at that.
Yeah.
With that.
I wanted to make him my background picture today too, because we all of this to him. That's going to happen starting tomorrow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No doubt.
I have kind of a general question about this.
Yeah, go for it.
So with the league still active, we're about to start the championship series. Do either of you know why they do this now, and they don't wait until after?
No clue.
No, I've always been
confused.
I've always been confused by that too. You would think that would be something that they would do, in the beginning of June, like after the Memorial Cup.
Well, and then especially with the expansion draft too, with Penticton, you're just adding more steps because we have to now wait or we as in Penticton, I guess, have to wait until the Chiefs and the Tigers are done. And whoever goes to the Memorial Cup, that's another 2 weeks. I just don't understand. And it feels like an extra distraction for the front offices that are still in it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really love that they do it now. It seems weird. It's like it really does feel like an off-season activity, and it that makes it hard for me to follow it.
Oh, I agree. I thought the same thing. It's always bugged me how this falls right around the championship series.
Okay.
And
so I just wanted to know if either of you had any insight as to why they do it now, like if there was a reason, but okay.
No, I haven't. I'm not sure about that, but I'm also curious about it too. One more note that I have on the draft before we wrap things up here is, did you guys see who the Medicine Hat Tigers selected in the 5th round?
I did, and I'm going to use that as part of my prediction for this series too. So I can just should I just throw my prediction out now, or do you want to announce it?
Go for it.
So, as an ode to WWE and Brock Lesnar, whose son Duke was drafted by Medicine Hat Tigers, I'd like to put some Suplex City stuff on Medicine Hat this series.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
Suplex City, bitch.
exactly. Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna say to all their fans that I see at the arena on games three
yep.
and four. Suplex City.
You can throw the
Um,
word bitch in there too.
oh, I will. I
Yeah.
will for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I saw the name when the thing posted on Instagram. I saw the Lesnar name, and I guess I didn't realize that all of his kids play hockey because they're all from Minnesota.
They all do.
Yeah, they all
Oh,
play.
really?
All of his kids play hockey. We have one
Interesting.
kid that's playing in the ACHA college hockey right now, and there's another one who's a couple of years younger than the Duke who just got drafted today too. So,
Interesting.
um, yeah, I mean, guy's got two pretty successful, famous parents,
Yeah.
and it'd be interesting to see Brock Lesnar pulling up to a Medicine Hat Tigers game next year with Sable.
Yeah. No shit. No shit. No shit. That
uh,
would be pretty amazing. And do you want to well, we saw a post on the group today too about TSN, and they're going to take over TC's old section
yeah, yeah.
and for cameras and stuff too for the championship series. But you heard something about a possible announcer for the championship series.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that I don't obviously I'm not sure if it's true or not. It's just something that I've been hearing on Twitter that Gord Miller is going to be doing all the commentating for
That would
TSN
be
on this
awesome.
series.
Oh, that's cool.
One of my favorite commentators out there in the
Yeah.
NHL. So
Yeah.
I think that would be really really cool. And yeah, the with them shutting down 204 for their cameras, it needs to happen. I mean, if you watch a hockey game on TV from the arena, it's always one section too far
Yes.
over than it should be, and then they have to
Yes.
zoom one way or another. It's not directly down the middle, and I think having it a little bit higher right in the middle is going to be exactly what they need to do. And
Are you saying that the upper level offers a better view of the games?
hmm, TSN knows what's
Oh,
up.
interesting. Oh,
Weird.
that's bizarre.
Yeah,
How novel.
yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe they close 204. They'll have to pull the curtains up in some other sections and
Well,
maybe sell some more tickets.
actually, on that note, I talked to Elliot about this. This was like probably a week ago now, but I looked at the seating chart for games 3 and 4,
Mm-hmm.
and they had availability on the other side of the rink,
Oh, really?
across from us. Yeah, they still had the corners and the backside closed off,
Mm-hmm.
or just grayed out, but you could buy tickets in
Interesting.
like 216, 217, 215. And I think that a seat, maybe one more over each way. I
Nice.
can't remember, but they did have. It wasn't full section. It was, I think, similar to how it is for us, where the curtain's kind of like halfway down.
Right.
Right.
So they at least anticipate more fans for those two games. And then I would be really interested to see, since now we know that that stupid rodeo got canceled, that
Well, now,
if we go to game 5, which I mean I think we all figure there will be a game 5,
yes.
uh, will they, for a Friday last game of the season, regardless of how it happens, whether the series ends that night or goes back to Medicine Hat, will they have the entire arena open?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say yes.
We've already established that the Indians are not in town.
Yes.
Yep.
They'll be in Oregon. It'll be a Friday, literally the last game. There will be no more Chiefs games until September.
Yeah.
Why
Will they
not?
have the whole rink open? Why
They
not?
should. They should.
Might
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No excuses.
Yeah.
And no section leaders anyway either. Just let it be a free for all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll beat up some Tiger fans.
Exactly. We might have to beat up some rodeo fans. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some rodeo protesters outside game 3, 4, and 5.
That whole situation is so bizarre.
And I didn't even, when they made their post to call out the arena, which per the arena's clap back at them was likely bullshit. I didn't even really, there wasn't any disappointment outside of a few comments. There wasn't
No.
No.
anybody being like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" Like, it didn't seem like anyone gave a shit,
Nope. And
frankly.
then And then they turned their
Like,
comments off, so people couldn't comment after that too.
Yeah.
yeah. And then, the way the arena responded to the misinformation or alleged misinformation that the rodeo was trying to spread about the way the
Yeah,
arena handled things. I mean, he said, she said, I guess I choose to lean the arena side. I think we all do, but
Yeah.
um,
I don't
and also
necessarily.
like,
I,
well,
I I am, and I'll say the only reason why I am is because once the arena put that statement out talking about how the rodeo kind of screwed up by not signing that contract or whatever, the rodeo page deleted that entire post
Yes,
about that event. So I think that they got caught and they know that they're wrong in the wrong personally. But
yeah. I don't know.
either
My
way, I'm just gonna say this: hockey, animal abuse.
well, and also when this was scheduled initially, no way that the arena or the Chiefs would have known that they
no,
would be playing this late into May.
no.
And, you know, I it's probably safe to say that had this not happened, like the Chiefs making the championship series, this rodeo probably would have gone on without all
Yes,
the drama and
No
all of
doubt.
the alleged finger pointing about insurance and
yeah.
contracts. Like it still would have happened. Uh, Apparently it wasn't selling very well either, so that probably also contributed.
I
I mean,
did see that.
if you're the arena and you're in the business of making money first and foremost,
Yeah,
and you're weighing, okay, a game 5 WHL championship game or this rodeo that already isn't selling very well, and on top of that, you have to convert an ice rink into a dirt pit and then back to an ice rink.
yeah.
Right.
All those man hours that would take to do, it just didn't make sense. And the Chiefs are the arena's one and only tenant.
Right. Their main tenant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No doubt.
So I mean, you at a certain point you gotta reward the loyalty.
Yep.
And I mean, it's not like this rodeo is an annual event. They were trying to become an annual. They're not coming here anymore. I can guarantee you that. Like the bridge has been burned on both sides.
Yep.
I'm just glad that all got worked out because the logistics of how Game 5 was going to play when we last spoke or last touch base just didn't make any sense.
Right. No, it
Um,
didn't.
so I mean, works out for us. I'm sure there's some people in Spokane and North Idaho that are, big rodeo fans that are super disappointed right now who couldn't give a rat's ass about hockey. Sucks to suck, bro. Like
Yeah, for real.
go to a PBR event or something. I mean,
It's not like there's not thousands of other rodeo events around here all year round.
yeah, that's what I was saying. And like it's some random no name rodeo that nobody's heard of. Like just wait for PBR to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they come
Wait
here.
wait for the
So
fair. They have that
or
shit at
yeah,
the fair.
or yeah,
Or the Cheney
yeah.
rodeo in the middle of the summer. I mean,
Yeah, that's right. That's the first weekend of July.
yeah.
So
So I mean there's plenty of options there, but enough talk about horses and cowboys. Boys,
You know how I feel about horse people anyway.
I know. I'm right there with you. Just start out before we kind of get into everything. We touched on a little bit. They did release the rest of the schedule for the championship series. I think they got all that stuff figured out. So game 5 will be, if necessary, but likely May 16th, Friday at 7 p.m. in Spokane. And then have the day off for travel, head back up to Medicine Hat for game 6 and 7 on the 18th of Sunday, and then 19th will be a Monday for a potential game 7. So TSN will broadcast all 7 games of the WHL Championship Series in Canada, and then viewers in the US and outside of North America can tune in for free on Victory Plus. So uh, confirmed that it is free on Victory Plus
Yes.
for US region, and I'll be on TSN for Canada. But I'm curious to see if the Victory Plus feeds are going to be the TSN broadcast.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
I think they probably will.
I hope.
I hope
They'll
so.
probably piggyback, which
Yeah.
sucks because well not I mean it doesn't suck, but we lose Boiler
Right.
Right.
potentially. But if it's Gord Miller, then
Yeah, if it's Gordon Miller, I'm cool with it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they still, I was kind of thinking about this too. I wouldn't be surprised if on Victory Plus they have an away feed, home feed, and a national feed.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to
Yeah.
see that either.
And And I wouldn't hate watching the TSN cameras with
with Boyle.
Boiler
Yeah,
Yeah.
over
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, boys. Let's get into this series preview. So, Medicine Hat, one of the top teams in the East. They were the top team in the East all year. That ended the season really hot too. They made some huge trade deadline acquisitions, getting Harrison Menigan and Tanner Mollendijk and stuff like that too. The offensive defensemen, their defense has been scoring a lot. So I think, in my opinion, anyway, the main key for us stopping their offensive production is going to be, I mean, really taking away their D men with the puck up at the blue line. You got to really get on them quick, and like I said last week, kind of lay everything on the line. It's the championship series, and block every shot that you can, and because and obviously with them having those many goals as they do from the blue line, they're going to be joining the rush quite a bit too. And I think the Chiefs need to be able to kind of capitalize on that and try to catch them up ice like a lot of teams have been doing to us this postseason.
No, I agree. Did you see the article I sent you before we started tonight from the newspaper? And they interviewed Catton, and he was commenting about how they like to handle the puck and control the puck too. And he said, kind of the Chiefs' goal is we need to have our puck in the offensive zone a little bit, so they can't have their puck in their offensive zone. It's kind of
Exactly.
how their game plan for shutting them down is just to have more puck possession. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out.
I watched that whole interview that they did with
Yeah, I saw you had a
the league or
screenshot. I didn't
whatever.
know there was an interview going on.
Yeah, it was posted on the Chiefs website. They had a interview. It's like an 11-minute interview with Crystal Catton and Crampton, and then Owen Martin had his own solo one too.
Nice.
So I watched all those, and yeah, they pretty much just all said the same thing that we're all saying too. It's like you just got to be able to kind of pick your spots to shut them down and try to do your best to keep them, in their own zone and on their heels
Yeah.
essentially.
Be responsible.
I mean, overall, I'm not as nervous as I thought that I would be, but I think either way, it's just going to be a high scoring slugfest of a series.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I mean, it could go the other way. These teams might finally settle down and play playoff hockey too. Who knows?
Yeah. TC, what do you think?
Uh, I think a lot of my nerves, I'm at peace right now, but I think a lot of my nerves going forward will depend on how tomorrow goes. Um, if it's a evenly played game and we win 4-3 or they win 4-3 or however it plays out, I think I'll be pretty okay with that. But if it looks a lot like how these Medicine Hat fans think it's going to look, I'm going to be
Yeah.
a little clinched up. I don't know. I again, like I hammered home at nauseum last time we had a podcast. I think the penalty kill.
That's the number
Can,
one thing.
can we kill penalties? Or if
Yeah.
we can't kill penalties, can we stay out of the box? And if you're Medicine Hat and you look at our PK percentage, you probably think to yourself, let's just try to piss them off. So will they be able to curb tempers when tempers get high? Uh, Refs always see the second hit; they don't see the first. So can we avoid the that sort of thing? I don't know. It's such a toss-up series, such a coin flip. Both teams have incredible offenses. All four lines can score, contrary to the belief of some people that
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to pull up right
we
now.
see. Yeah, I don't know who can kill penalties better, who can play better defense, and which goalie can steal a game.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing. Cowan's going to have to take a big step up again too, and all four lines are going to have to play to their full potential. And that's another thing that I've been seeing online recently is from a lot of Medicine Hat fans saying the Chiefs, just have their top line. It's like, I don't know, man. I think
But
you're kind of wrong.
but you know what that comes from? I think it just comes from the media because all they see is things talking about the top line. Those
Definitely.
of us that
That's
actually watch the
yeah.
team know it's not the case at all.
And that's the thing about this league is the Eastern Conference and Western Conference are so separated.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
It's we kind of exist in our bubble during the regular season and
Hmm.
majority of the playoffs where we really only pay attention to each other's conference because we only play the Eastern Conference teams once a year
Exactly.
Right.
or vice versa. And when they go on Instagram and they see every other post from the WHL of, oh, look, Crystal scored 4 goals. Oh, look, Van Olm with an easy tap in from a cat and pass. But they're not seeing the Coco Armstrong sneaking in on the back check and getting one. They don't see they would have to dig deeper. And I mean, let's face it, boys, the average person's not going to do that. The average person's just going to look at the post and they're going to go, oh, okay, Chiefs are a one-line team, shut down
Right.
Cat and Van
Yeah.
Olm and Crystal when it's going to be a cakewalk. And the same can go for Chiefs fans too. I
Yeah, I was
guarantee
gonna
you
say.
there's a lot of Chiefs fans that are looking at Medicine Hat and going, well, okay, McKenna, Weissblatt, I guess Basha since he'll be back. Those
Yeah.
are the big names, right? But if you actually look at them critically and watch their games, you'll be like, oh shit, like they're at least getting 3 line scoring.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these players are. I've never heard of these random names, these third, second liners on Medicine Hat. I don't know who they are.
Right.
And the same goes for the Chiefs. Like if they're like, who the fuck is Owen Martin? That's probably what they're
Right.
thinking.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
they're just gonna have to find out.
Yeah.
exactly. No,
Exactly.
exactly. And that's the thing too. It's like you don't go this far in a playoff run without having depth scoring and
Mhm.
without having contributions from all four lines. And I first, just I don't know. I'm so tired of seeing the cockiness and like you said, Dad, the arrogance online. It's like
Hmm.
normally that's me. Normally that's me, or it used to be me being
It used to be,
the
yes.
cocky asshole on the internet, you know, just talking shit and all that stuff too. But now it's like I'm more of a wouldn't say superstitious, but I'm more of a I don't want to jinx it type
Yeah.
person now. And so I'm just kind of staying quiet and letting it. But every once in a while, it becomes too much. And so I'm in this WHL group on Facebook, and somebody posted something about Crystal being 4 goals away from breaking the WHL's all-time playoff record. And somebody says, I think the series of Tigers versus Chiefs is going to be good. The Tigers have McKenna, but the Chiefs have Crystal and Catton and a few others. I'm excited to watch. And then somebody with the Medicine Hat Tigers logo as their profile picture says, we consistently score with all four lines. Chiefs, not so much. And so I was like, that doesn't seem quite right. So I pulled over at work the other day on the side of the road and loaded up a Medicine Hat Elite Prospects page and added up their goal totals from their lines 2 through 4. And I did the same for the Chiefs. And I left a comment and I said, what are you talking about? All four of our lines have scored in every game in the playoffs. I understand you're feeling good about your team going into the championship, but your statement is just flat out wrong. And then this is where I posted the facts. I said Spokane's lines 2 through 4 have 41 goals in the postseason, which accounts for about half of our goal total in the playoffs. Medicine Hat's lines 2 through 4, 21.
Oh,
Your defensemen have a lot more goals than ours, sure, but if we're counting defensemen, Spokane has 46 goals from anybody other than their top line. Medicine Hat, 35.
there you go.
So didn't hear anything back, by the way.
Hmm.
Nicely
Man,
done.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, sometimes you just got to hit them with the facts. I mean, so I think
Well,
a lot of these junior hockey fans just like to talk. And
again, it's insular. We all exist in our bubble.
yep,
We do.
It's not like the NHL where everybody knows who everybody is. It doesn't matter what city you're in, everybody knows the players.
yep,
I I'll admit, man, the only 4 Medicine Hat Tiger games I've watched this season was when they beat Lethbridge in 4. And I don't know, it sure seemed like McKenna was involved in every single goal they
Hmm.
scored. I don't know. I'm sure there was some where he had nothing to do with it, but
Well, we talked about it last podcast, and I was listening to NHL radio on Sirius XM today too, and the guy that follows stuff, they were talking about all four. So they were talking about, or three, I guess, the Q and R's and stuff too. And they said, let's start with Spokane versus Medicine Hat. And he said, Medicine Hat's got McKenna. He goes, this guy's going to be the number one draft next year. He would be the number one draft pick this year.
Yep,
That's how special
no
he
doubt.
is. And then, I mean, so they're talking about it on like national rate or actually worldwide radio, for lack of a better term. But they were saying Spokane, they got Catton, they got Crystal, they got some depth scoring. I mean, this is somebody that probably just looks at stats, but and doesn't really follow the teams. But he kind of knew what he was talking about. He said it's going to be a series. He said he figures it could go either direction, but he figured Medicine Hat would probably win. But I mean, we know how good McKenna is.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, tonight in the OHL, London's undefeated streak in the playoffs came to an end in game one of their championship series to Oshawa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
it's with
That's
the
the
championship
beauty of
series.
hockey.
Exactly.
Any team can beat any other team on a night, no matter what your level of play is. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about hockey.
A bounce this way, a bounce that way. I mean, it could go either way. And I
Yeah.
think with the amount of skill that both of these teams have, I think it's a toss up. I mean, flip a coin.
And like TC said last week, I think the goalies are going to have to steal a game, at least one game each for the other team if that team's going to be successful.
Yep, no doubt.
We got to see that out of Callan.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
He's got to steal one. There's got to be a Callan game where it doesn't matter what McKenna does. It doesn't matter what Weisblatt does. It doesn't matter what insert player here does. He just stones them.
And
Yep.
the same thing for them too. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what our guy top line does and lights it, puts up 45 shots or something too. He's going to have to steal a game if they're going to be successful too. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a very, very. If you were to play this series 10 times, I think it'd come out 5-5. I really do.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think these teams are pretty equally matched, and obviously they only played one game during the regular season. A really good game. In all honesty, I mean, obviously the regular season is different than the playoffs. It's completely different level of intensity and everything too. But it's right after the trade deadline when the Chiefs had just gotten Crystal. I think it was like his second or third game with the Chiefs, and they had just gotten all their acquisitions in too. So I mean, both teams were at full strength. I mean, obviously they're
Right.
without Basha and Lindstrom, but both teams were their complete team going forward, and it was a really even back and forth game. The Chiefs had the 2-goal lead for 50 minutes, and then Minnesota came back and rallied and won 3-2 in regulation. But I mean, it was a great game, and I could see more games like that happening for sure.
How many times do you get to a finals of some sort too? And everybody's always talking, and it's an offensive team versus a defensive team. Which one is going to give? Which one's going to win out or something? That's not the case here. They're both offensive juggernauts, and they both have very consistent goaltending. That's pretty even. I think defensively, when we play smart and don't pinch so much and do those things too, I think defense is very comparable. I think it matches on paper very, very even. It's not one style versus another style.
Yeah, and I think when I was watching those media availability videos from some of the boys, they were talking about that too, and talking about Catton brought that up a couple times. He's like, I think we can. Obviously, they're a very offensively gifted team, and I think that we're right there with them, and we can score with the best of them. And says, I think we're in good shape. We just need to tighten things up a little bit defensively. His exact words. And they said that was like a kind of a big emphasis from Lauer over the last week. It's like, this team's at a whole new level than Portland, Victoria, and Vancouver. So you're going to have to really step up your defensive game against, guys of this caliber. And I'm sure that Willie Desjardins is saying the same thing about us to Medicine too. So yeah, again, toss up. I think it's going to be a hell of a series, and I'm super stoked to watch. And it's been really cool seeing a lot of the casual fans even kind of getting behind the team right now too, with all the media that they're getting, local media that they're getting. I know there's like 3 or 4 watch parties going on at different restaurants and bars down here tomorrow. Lord Stanley's posted a thing that says they're going to show the game on their 165-inch projector tomorrow. Brick West is having one, and the hub up on Monroe is having one too. So Um, I mean, it's cool, and I think that having this national TV coverage, even if is just in Canada, is going to be really big for the team itself too,
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have a blast with it all.
for sure. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to depth scoring too and defense.
Yeah.
We need to bring physicality too.
That too, yeah. I'd like,
If we can put them in the same spot we put Portland in game one,
Yes.
I'm not saying we beat them 10-4, but I'm saying if we can make them grip their sticks a little tighter because they think every time they touch the puck they're about to get drilled.
Yes.
I
yeah,
think that'll go a long way for helping the defense
Yeah.
I mean because that is defense, um,
No.
and just yeah, it really I mean I don't know boys, like I know I said what I said last time. I think the series is going seven.
yeah. It
I don't
definitely,
know.
it's so down the middle to me that I just I want to go into Medicine Hat tomorrow and I want to beat them game one and
Yeah,
kind of humble these cocky
yeah.
fans a little bit because that's
At a minimum,
yeah,
need a split Medicine Hat,
no doubt.
Kind
and
of
And
winning
cool to
game
go
one
in there
would be nice.
and have secondary scoring mostly. Maybe have the top line get one goal and have the other guys get like 5 or something like that. Be like,
mhm,
oh, we just beat you, and our top line didn't even really score.
yeah.
Hit him with that SpongeBob meme where he's all like,
Yeah. Yeah, the
yeah,
mocking meme. Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely. Oh, Edmonton Vegas going to overtime.
They are.
yeah.
How I was telling Elliot earlier, how cool is this to see these two former U.S. division goalies going against each other in Aiden Hill and Calvin Pickard? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And they played
Seattle's
at the
cool.
same time. They played against each other.
Seattle and Portland.
Yeah, pretty cool to see that. This league, but this division, the U.S. division, has produced some pretty damn good goalies in the last 15 or 20 years.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I
I
mean,
mean, I could count so many from us. Oh, I mean, quite a bit from Everett,
Everett,
obviously.
yes,
Portland's got some pretty notable names: Joel Hofer, Aiden Hill,
yeah,
Tri City, even with. I mean, obviously it was quite a while ago, but Carey Price, Chet Pickard played in the NHL for a little bit.
yep,
Comrie was with Winnipeg right now in the playoffs too, and
yep.
um,
Pretty
Tokarski with the Chiefs.
pretty impressive.
We're kind of the odd one out here.
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't had one since Tokarski, but I think we have one now that could get some time in his future in the NHL.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing him have a big series for the Chiefs. I think that these guys are ready and they're prepared.
Me too.
And I think just based off of the media stuff that I was listening to, the Cat and I mean we got the perfect leader going into this championship series.
Yeah, we do.
He's a team first guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's bringing everybody along with him for the ride. What's your guys' predictions for the series? Just you can be your heartfelt. It can be what your brain tells you. Whatever. Just wonder what your prediction is.
Ah man.
You're
Well,
really putting me on the spot right
You want me to
now.
go? Want me to go first?
I already said it's
I say-
going seven.
I say
But-
Chiefs in 6. That's what my gut tells me.
Man.
I mean, I did say last week Chiefs in 4.
Well, so as cool as that would be, that would actually really suck for me in a kind of a way.
Okay,
Because that would mean
Chiefs in 5.
I'll take a Chiefs in 4, but I would be a little salty that I'd be watching the game on Kendrick's couch in Seattle and not at the arena. Fuck it, Chiefs in 7.
I'm gonna
Nice.
say Chiefs in 7 too.
Yeah.
Okay. I say Chiefs in 6.
It's gonna be close,
But I
though.
think every game is going to be good. I mean, again, like I said last week, and I still stand by it too. Also, instinctively, this is a 50-50 series. It's a coin toss
Mhm.
every game.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna come down to bounces and the hockey gods.
And timely goals
Exactly.
or timely saves. I mean, yeah, any of that stuff.
Exactly. And
Are we going to Brick West tomorrow?
I think we should go somewhere for sure.
Yeah. I don't know
Either
what
there or Lord
I don't know what
Stanley's.
Lord Stanley's is size wise for capacity compared to like Brick West.
Lord Stanley's is decently sized.
Is it? Because the
Yeah.
hub is tiny.
Yeah, the hub is real tiny.
Yeah, if you don't get to the hub a couple hours before puck drop, you're not getting in there.
Yeah.
And they've
Yeah.
got the hub's kind of funny too because they've got like their regulars who basically just like they're always in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, those regulars live in that place. Like
Yeah.
they don't go
They,
home.
their
So
mail goes there. Yes.
yeah, there's a handful of individuals when every time I've gone in the hub, I'm like, dude, are you always here? Like, yeah, yeah. So yeah, good luck getting in there. They have their outside area. I would be curious to know if they're going to do anything with that too for overflow, but
I think it's
uh,
cool that Lord Stanley's is showing it on that big projector screen because I
yeah,
went down there to watch game 3 of the Portland series and they just had it on one TV in front of the bar.
which is
Um,
crazy. Which is
right.
crazy.
I
Like
know.
yeah, the NHL's in its playoffs too, and they're an NHL bar first, but like the local junior team is trying to win a championship, but
Yeah. But
so be it.
I I mean, hats off to Lord Stanley's for putting it on the big screen too. I just hope that we get some solid crowd support coming out for games 3 and 4, five.
I think we
And I'm
will.
sure we will. I think game 5 is going to be especially, a really solid crowd for
I
sure.
think I think game 5 has a potential to be a very special night. Um, I don't know if that means like just the crowd and everything else involved, or if we could like somehow manage to win this thing in 5, that would be incredible. But I don't know. I just have a weird feeling game 5 is going to feel like it's just going to feel like one of those environments where we're going to walk out of there and just be like, holy shit, that was
Yeah.
transcendent. I
I
really hope it feels that way.
I want this crowd to be hostile.
Well, then you know what? Let's give some cheap tickets to some kids. Let's fill it with some kids that are screaming and yelling.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
So,
Boys, anything else?
no, sir.
No, again, gotta split medicine hat. I don't know when the next time we're gonna record is, but if we decide to do one after game 2 or whatever,
Yeah,
um, gotta
probably
split.
Monday.
Gotta split,
Yep.
you know.
I feel
And
positive about that.
we gotta
I
and
think
it
it's
first
doable.
for some reason game 1 feels like just that's the one we gotta get. Go in
Yep.
there, punch them in the mouth,
Make them nervous. Make their fans nervous.
get that win, and see what happens in game 2. And
Yeah.
worst case scenario, you come home with honestly a chance to win the series.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Well, and it's the same thing. It's like, those first 2 games, first 2 series in Vancouver. I mean, they had the first 2 games of the series, and then we came out with the 2 elites, so we still had the home ice technically, but and then the Victoria series, we split those first 2 games, and then we had the 3 straight back in Victoria. We essentially gave them the home ice advantage in the rest of the series. So we have the potential to split up in Medicine Hat and then come back here for 3.
yeah, that 2-3-2 format is really hard actually on the team with 4 games because we've talked about this a lot. Just like you said,
With the
if you
split.
if you split with the road team, they take home ice from you
Yeah.
effectively.
100%.
So, yeah, that's kind of my main thing. I want to see violence within reason.
Yep.
No bad penalties, but go in there and split with them.
I need Sage and I need Mays to lay bodies early in game 1.
Yep.
And I need forecheck from all 4 lines. No reaching with your stick. Just move your feet.
And we need consistent officiating, please, please, please.
I think with the WHL Championship Series, I feel
do
like
too.
you're not going to have that issue.
I agree, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, because we can beat the Tigers. We can't beat the Tigers and the refs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. Boys, it's been 17 years since we played in the WHL Championship Series, and tomorrow we get to see it again.
Love it.
Let's get it done.
Hockey in May.
Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Go Chiefs,
Boys.
go. Uh-oh.
What's he reaching for?
I was going to say he's reaching for something.
Oh,
There it is.
Go Chiefs, go.
All right.
Go
Go
Chiefs,
Chiefs,
go.
go.